Good afternoon, you wee bastards, and welcome back to War Thunder with Koala. So, everyone else is hopping aboard the hype train, and damn if I'm not going to get involved. Clickbait. Oh, speaking of which, live streaming right now, over on Twitch, gonna be good, come check it out. So, for anybody who doesn't know, a few days ago some images were leaked of 3D aircraft models supposedly coming to War Thunder this patch. Namely, the US Navy's F-8 Crusader, which is a carrier-based fighter similar in general performance to the Mitsubishi T2. Note that I said similar and not the same. The images were put up on the DeviantArt page of a 3D modeler by the name of, I believe, Psy06, who has done 3D modelling of aircraft for War Thunder in the past in the form of the T2 from last update, the IL-4, which we've had for some time, the BE-6 and I-225, Key 108, Tandem Mai, BF-109Z, and many others. The same 3D artist, I guess you'd call him, or freelance 3D modeler, has also done work on cockpits for DCS and some models for IL-2 Sturmovik. War Thunder and IL-2, someone tell him he needs to get onto Wargaming and do some models for World of Warplanes to complete the trifecta. So the images he posted were of different aircraft models like the aforementioned F-8 Crusader, along with the Japanese J-5N, Soviet Tu-12 and Yak-25, and many others. Oddly enough, these images were removed very quickly after a Redditor posted the images and a link to the DeviantArt page on r/WarThunder. Seriously, Gaijin, you know that the hasty removal of them just after all the hype confirms for us it's a legitimate leak, right? If you just left it and not said anything, we probably wouldn't have put much stock into it. Now we're just talking about it all the more. Nice try, Gaijin. I mean, DCS recently added the MiG-19, and there's actually work being done on adding the F-8 Crusader into that game. Isn't that funny? While War Thunder's moving forwards, DCS is moving backwards. Actually, I suppose we do have the Sabre and MiG-15, and even some props in that game. Never mind. But with Psy06 also being a modeler for DCS, work being done on adding the F-8 Crusader into that game, and an F-8 Crusader 3D model all of a sudden popping up on this guy's page, quickly telling him to take it down was the worst thing Gaijin could have done if they wanted to keep things under wraps. Now, I don't know exactly the ins and outs of what happened between Gaijin and Psy. I don't know if they have the authority to make him take the images down, or they asked him to, or if he did this of his own accord, thinking, shit, probably wasn't meant to show that. Maybe he was just drunk on Scotch fucking whiskey. I have no idea. But what it looks like is that Gaijin very quickly demanded that Psy06 remove the images. God, I sound like fucking Drama Alert. Let's get right into the fucking news. So if the fact that the lad had done modelling work for Gaijin in the past didn't quite convince you, as well as the fact that in amongst the tier 6 jets were some low tier Japanese bombers, I mean, seriously, we can't have more than 3 patches without receiving a new Japanese low tier naval bomber, can we? What do you think this is? Gaijin, if you're watching, that is literally what we all play the game for. Get on that. But if that wasn't enough to convince you of the, I guess, legitimacy of this leak, then the immediate takedown of the images probably will. Not suspicious at all there, guys. We saw nothing. Now, please don't think that I'm attacking anybody. I just find this whole situation quite amusing, because I'll be honest, I don't really get why Gaijin is so uptight about anybody finding out what's being worked on or what may come to the game early. I mean, let's go back to the DCS example. They provide regular developer blogs talking about what work is being done on models that might come into the game soon. Hey guys, this model is almost ready, get pumped. And guess what? Everybody does still get pumped. When the F-14 trailer dropped, can you remember the hype? But when we move over to the Russian company, if you leak information about upcoming vehicles even an hour before the dev server, you can be removed from Gaijin's content partnership program. I know, it almost happened to me. It was thought that I apparently leaked information about the last update early. People whom I won't name were running around saying that I'd breached an NDA, and I had to spend 2 days trying to prove to Gaijin staff that it wasn't me who leaked the information. It actually turned out to be someone, I think it was a Russian content creator who originally leaked it, and one of my Discord moderators actually spread that around, and that's how it came back to me. But I have no clue how that story ends, to be honest, and I probably shouldn't talk about it too much because, once again, Gaijin's very Russian censorship policies and such. I made it sound bad just then, it really wasn't that bad. But yeah, I don't get it. I mean, DCS, Star Citizen, Half-Life 3, these are all proving that you don't need to make it a big surprise in order to get people hyped up. I mean, with tier 6 jets back before we knew we were getting them, I get it, keep it under wraps, make it a big announcement, hey guys, tier 6 jets, missiles, afterburners, only a couple of weeks away. But with something like, say, the F-8 Crusader, if it is coming this patch, Gaijin could have said a month ago, or 3 months ago, we've began working on the F-8 Crusader, it should be in the game within a few months, here's a wee bit of history on the Crusader, it will also bring with it these new weapon systems, here's a wee bit of information on them, we'll keep you posted, check back for more devlogs in the coming weeks. Would anybody have lost interest in the aircraft if Gaijin had done it that way? Instead, we have all this faff. Like, what? That makes no sense to me. But again, Russian company, right? I kid. Now, I know that these are extremely different types of games and the situations are different. Don't take me too seriously, alright? I'd just like to see Gaijin try it for once, as currently the only hints about what might be forthcoming are data mines from characters like Mike 10D. Gaijin's clearly been working on the Imperial Japanese Navy for several months, probably since like midway through last year. Couldn't they have kept us updated? I don't really think it would have spoiled our appreciation of when the Jap Navy does arrive. Once again, I'm going to refer back to Heatblur's F-14 trailer for DCS and the mad hype that occurred then. Having said that, releasing entire vehicles early like they did for the Italian premiums an entire year before we got an Italian tank tech tree, that probably wasn't the best way of going about it either. The moral of the story is, if you are a company who has a vehicular combat video game and you're working on adding an F-14 Tomcat into it, then keep your loyal player base and viewership up to date with its development. Please add F-14, please add F-14, please add F-14. The last thing I want to say here is that please don't be 100% fixated on the F-8 Crusader making it into War Thunder this upcoming patch. I've seen so many people saying, oh, can't wait for this update, F-8 Crusader was confirmed. No, it wasn't. A half-completed model was documented by a creator on DeviantArt. That does not mean that Gaijin Entertainment is adding an F-8 Crusader into War Thunder right now. The performance matches up, and it's certainly possible, in fact I'd even go as far as to say probable, given the hasty removal of the images to try and cover up the leak. Once again, worked real well, didn't it, Gaijin? And thumbs up from me, A for effort. I'm reminded of when a data mine found the T-80 in the game files, and it was leaked due to a post that said, quote, "The T-80 model is complete." I actually made a video on that, it was one of my bigger videos at the time. It took around 5 months after that post for the T-80B to be added into the game in patch 1.81, 2 whole updates later. So once again, there is every possibility that the F-8 Crusader and any if not all of the other aircraft featured in this leak will come in patch 1.89. I'm not saying that they won't or that they shouldn't, but I also don't want you lads to start screaming and feeling upset if they don't. There is no guarantee that just because a 3D render of the aircraft is complete, that the vehicle is ready for implementation. So while it's a very interesting piece of information, one that, as I said, I kinda wish had actually come from Gaijin themselves, and at the very least they didn't do a really good job of covering it up. Bacon, Ash, Canadian and I aren't helping that either, I'll be honest. It's an aircraft I'd like to come into the game this patch, and I really think it could, even that it should, it'd balance the T2 quite well, and extend the US naval fighter line, but don't consider it a given. The images I saw don't exactly look like completed War Thunder models. Sure, visuals like colour, camos, these are easy enough to model in, but the functionality of flaps and air brakes, cockpit model, and more importantly, the flight models and weapon systems of this aircraft are not necessarily ready. They might be, they might not be, so we may have to wait for patch 1.91 for the F-8 Crusader. But I hope we don't! Anyway, that's basically all I have to say on this for today. I will talk about the weapon systems, flight performance, and history of the F-8 Crusader if/when we do get an actual devlog, which once again might be this update, could be next, we never know, but that will be an interesting video when it does come. I hope you lads have enjoyed this one, or at least weren't too disappointed by it, and that if you did enjoy it, you leave a like on this video, subscribe if you haven't already, hit that notification bell, join the 360 squad, and let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Come follow me on Twitter and Twitch, I will be live streaming right when you see this, so come join us there, join the Discord, and check out Patreon if you wish to support my channel further. Thank you lads for watching, and always remember, keep your bagpipes to hand, keep your kilt firmly on, and I shall see you next video. I say a wee thank you to these lads for supporting me on Patreon. Seagull Nuts, DA261, Gisli Gararson, and Dark Recon. You lads are bra. If you wish to join them, come check out the link in the description below.